Have you ever wondered just how hard it is to score a single goal in top-flight football? It's an absolute dogfight out there, battling against massive center backs and constantly trying to crack all kinds of defensive setups. Many strikers spend their entire prime just dreaming of hitting the 100-goal mark. Yet, just this past weekend, Harry Kane calmly pocketed the 500th goal of his career. And even more unbelievably, Cristiano Ronaldo also just found the back of the net to hit his own 500-goal milestone, but only counting the goals he scored after turning 30. What in the world is going on with these two absolute monsters? Matchday 23 of the Bundesliga. The Allianz Arena was already erupting in thunderous applause before the ball even rolled. The Bayern Munich brass held a brief ceremony to honor Harry Kane, the English striker who officially joined the 500 club during Matchday 22 at Werder Bremen, where he bagged a brace in a dominant 3-0 victory. The momentum carried right over as Bayern hosted Eintracht Frankfurt this round. Kane was on fire again, netting another brace to help the Bavarians secure all 3 points in a hard-fought 3-2 thriller. With this, since the 17th, Kane has found the back of the net in 9 consecutive matches, including 2 crucial Champions League fixtures. But, behind the roaring crowds and this ridiculous scoring streak, there is a much bigger story to be told. A mind-boggling 128 goals in just 132 appearances for Bayern doesn't just happen by camping out in the penalty box. Kane constantly drops deep into the pockets of space between the opposition's midfield and defensive lines. By doing this, he drags at least one center-back completely out of position, beautifully dismantling the stubborn low blocks of Bundesliga teams. When he drops deep, it opens up massive driving lanes for the wingers to cut inside and attack. Manager Vincent Kompany has essentially made Kane the ultimate focal point of Bayern's ball progression. He acts as a link-up hub, orchestrating the play before making that late, deadly run into the danger zone to finish the job himself. Kane's incredible journey to his current tally of 502 career goals is nothing short of a masterclass in the evolution of the modern striker. It all kicked off back in January 2011, when a 17-year-old kid fired one past Sheffield Wednesday while playing for Leyton Orient in League One. Kane absolutely paid his dues during those loan spells, grinding it out to bag 9 goals for Millwall, 5 for Leyton Orient, and 2 for Leicester City. But coming back home to Tottenham, that's where the legend was truly born. He completely rewrote the history books, racking up a staggering 280 goals for Spurs and smashing a monumental club record that the legendary Jimmy Greaves had held since 1970. Stepping up to the national team, his 78 goals in 112 caps puts him miles ahead of Wayne Rooney's old record. But Kane's career hasn't been without its dark corners and dead ends. Take his loan spell at Leicester City in the 2012-13 season. In 2 incredibly tense championship playoff games, Kane totally ghosted, failing to find the net, or looking at the international stage. He fired blanks in that humiliating loss to Iceland at Euro 2016, and was completely silenced by the Spanish defense in the Euro 2024 final. This struggle against highly disciplined, compact defensive systems that choke out his space shows that Kane can still get bogged down when he's cut off from his supporting cast. In fact, stats show there are 7 teams he's faced more than twice without ever piercing their net, with Benfica and Iceland handing him some of his most bitter experiences. To rack up this massive mountain of goals, Kane has developed a seriously deep bag of finishing skills. Breaking down his first 500 goals, 318 came off his right foot, 86 with his left, and 94 were headers. Crazy enough, he even scored with his right shoulder against Stoke City back in 2018. And his left shoulder against Brighton in October 2022. The Athletic even jokingly claimed he scored with his hand on that one. His absolute favorite hunting ground is right inside the box, where he's bagged 449 goals, while 51 have been long-range rockets. And when it comes to penalties, Kane is strictly elite. He's successfully converted 100 penalties, making up exactly 20% of his career total. With only 13 misses, his insane 88.5% conversion rate actually edges out the 2 greatest goal-scoring machines of the 21st century, Cristiano Ronaldo at 83.8% and Lionel Messi at 77.8%. This ice-cold composure from the spot comes from a short run-up, reading the keeper's movement before unleashing a ruthless strike. As the fan account Bavarian Angle perfectly analyzed on the forums, the way Kane takes a penalty is exactly how he plays the game, no flashy nonsense. Hyper-calculated, and totally minimizing risk. And just like we said, thousands of miles east of Munich, another massive milestone just got smashed in the Saudi Pro League. At 41 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo bagged a brace in Al-Nassr's 4-0 demolition of Al-Hazm. The Knights of Najd leapfrogged to the top of the table with 55 points, edging out Al-Hilal by a single point after their rivals were held to a draw by Al-Ittihad. That double bumped the Portuguese legend's career tally up to an insane 964 goals. But what really has the pundits talking is that he officially crossed the 500-goal mark, strictly counting from after his 30th birthday back in February 2015. Sure, Ronaldo stepped away from elite European club football 3 years ago. You could argue his 463 goals before turning 30 came against much tougher defenses. But netting 501 goals after hitting the big 3-0? That demands a whole different level of greatness. The biggest challenge is the total rewiring of his footballing IQ and physical mechanics. Ronaldo had to fine-tune his game to fight off father time. There's clear proof of this evolution in 3 ways. First, he completely cut out the exhausting, touchline-hugging dribbles, morphing into a pure, lethal poacher. Second, it's his elite ability to sniff out a center-back's blind spot, picking the exact millisecond to trigger a short, explosive 5-meter burst. The third was on full display during the opening goal against Al-Hazm. Before latching onto that pass from Kingsley Coman, Ronaldo was stealthily ghosting through the white shirts. VAR had to step in to confirm the goal, proving just how clinical he still is at beating the offside trap. So, Ronaldo is now just 36 goals shy of his ultimate obsession, 1,000 officially recorded goals. Riding the high of this latest brace, media outlets are already hyping up the ultimate dream scenario. How poetic would it be if he hits that 1,000th goal right at the 2026 World Cup? Digging into the numbers, ESPN stats show Ronaldo's current strike rate is hovering right around 0.74 goals per game. 15 goals in his last 20 matches is genuinely elite. But Al-Nassr only has about 20 official matches left between now and the World Cup. Even if Portugal makes a deep run, add another 7 or 8 games to hit the 1,000 mark by then, Ronaldo would essentially need to average a goal a game for 30 straight appearances. That is an almost unbearable physical demand for a 41-year-old, and frankly, it might not even be necessary. Let's not forget, his World Cup record is actually fairly modest. He scored 8 goals across 5 tournaments and has never found the net in the knockout stages. The suffocating, elite defensive systems at a World Cup will inevitably choke out the operating space for a 41-year-old forward. That's exactly why the fact that Ronaldo is still shining so consistently, marching step by step toward the ultimate career milestone, is already something to celebrate. He deserves our applause, not crushing, unnecessary pressure. When we put Harry Kane and Cristiano Ronaldo side by side, we get a fascinating clash of 2 completely different striker profiles from 2 different eras of the 21st century. But hilariously, they both share the exact same kryptonite, Benfica. Throughout his entire career, Kane has faced the Portuguese giants multiple times but has never once pierced their net. Ronaldo? He's also gone 5 straight matches against the Eagles without a single goal. This wild coincidence comes down to Benfica's trademark multi-layered defense, which constantly blocks off the center and completely isolates the striker from the midfield playmakers. Their parallels also show up on the international stage. Kane boasts 15 goals in major tournaments, surpassing Gary Lineker's 10. 6 of those won him the Golden Boot at the 2018 World Cup. Meanwhile, Ronaldo owns a staggering 22 goals in these major competitions, sitting at the very top of the European charts, ahead of legends like Miroslav Klose, 19. Gerd Müller, 18, and Jurgen Klinsmann, 16. Ronaldo's sheer longevity has allowed him to stockpile this massive international tally across 6 Euros and 5 World Cups. But that's where the similarities end. The way these two operate around the penalty box follows 2 completely opposite trajectories. Kane is the ultimate hybrid, a lethal goalscorer who can also drop in and dictate play. His danger comes from his elite ability to receive the ball with his back to goal. Out of his 280 goals for Tottenham, 28 were directly assisted by Son Heung-min. At the same time, Kane constantly acts as the ultimate decoy, dragging defenders away so Son could exploit the space. He leaves a massive tactical footprint on the team's overall build-up. On the flip side, the post-30 version of Cristiano Ronaldo is almost always the final destination of every attack. CR7's insane standing vertical leap and aerial hang time mean he demands his teammates constantly pump the ball into the danger zone. At this stage, he relies heavily on the quality of crosses coming in from the flanks. Looking ahead, both hitmen are racing against very different limits. With 28 goals after just 23 Bundesliga match days, Kane has already smashed his tally from last season. He is breathing right down the neck of that seemingly impossible 41-goal single-season record set by Robert Lewandowski in 2020-2021. Vincent Kompany's direct, attacking system has caused Kane's shots on target per 90 minutes to absolutely skyrocket. As the Belgian manager perfectly put it, Harry Kane is a player born to score goals. But I think winning the Bundesliga means much more to him than any personal records. As for Ronaldo, the Golden Boot race in the Saudi Pro League is going right down to the wire. Ivan Toney of Al Ahly is currently leading the pack with 23 goals, sitting just 3 goals ahead of the Al-Nassr captain. Records are meant to be broken, and as long as these two absolute machines are still lacing up their boots and stepping onto the pitch, the absolute limits of goal scoring will continue to be rewritten.